If you've been consuming my content for long enough, then you'll likely remember a series that I started years ago. In it, I went over a slew of players who didn't particularly like their coaches. Therefore, I decided over 4 years later to pick back up where I left off. In this video, we'll be going over a couple of NHL players who didn't like their coaches. But before we do, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Sportneer for sponsoring this video. Sportneer is your #1 destination for portable and compact fitness gear. And with that, here are 2 NHL players who hated their coaches. Last video, I went over a few players that wanted to separate from their current teams, and the standalone player in that video that had formally submitted a trade request was indeed Chinakhov himself. Now, from what we know, Chinakhov kicked off last season with a bang and was doing quite well from all accounts on the top line. For instance, for the first handful of games to start the season, the forward had 7 points. He was arguably the Jackets' best player for the first month of the season, while he played on the line with Sean Monahan and Kirill Marchenko. However, once he succumbed to a back injury in November, things were never the same between player and coach, meaning that the relationship between head coach Dean Evason and Chinakhov became strained at best. After Chinakhov returned to play, he struggled to receive the playing time that he once had, and unsurprisingly, his offensive production reflected just that. When he wasn't made a healthy scratch by Evason, he was averaging just 12 minutes and 42 seconds a game of playing time. Shortly after free agency came and went this summer, the reports began to surface that Chinakhov was trying to find a team that was a better fit. Now, there's been different things said from both the player and management side, so try and take everything that I'm about to go over with a grain of salt. Chinakhov, through his agent, Shimi Babaev, communicated that his reasoning for wanting out was due to his head coach. According to the article that I'll link below from The Athletic, Chinakhov was left in the dark completely after he went out with injury in November. He's claiming that there was zero communication from Evanson's end when he went out and once he returned to play. Besides that, Chinakhov isn't happy with his current playing time and role on the team. Now, disagreements happen all of the time between player and coach. It's just the nature of the beast. But for Chinakhov's agent to say what I'm about to read speaks volumes about the relationship. Chinakhov is comfortable with his team. He's comfortable with the city, Babaev told The Athletic. But he's not comfortable with his coach. It's all about the coach. He feels like the coach doesn't trust him. For a player to want to switch teams and go through the whole transition of changing cities, teams, etc., says that, yeah, they probably don't like the coach if their sole reason for doing all of that is just to avoid him. On the other side of it, Evason, when asked about his communication with his player, refuted Chinakhov's claims. The lines of communication are open, and they will continue to be open. GM Don Waddell also made a statement in part that Chinakhov couldn't handle being a healthy scratch after he returned from a back injury. And now, a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Sportneer. I don't know about you all, but I absolutely love working out and staying fit. One of the tools that has recently given me a new edge in the gym is a Sportneer weighted vest. For me and my fitness routine, it comes in handy when I take a day off from my usual running regimen. What's really neat about this vest that makes it unique is the fact that it's filled with a premium iron sand filling that's water and rust resistant, because obviously you're going to be sweating with this thing on. And the most important thing is that it allows you to customize your weight preferences. I started with 15 pounds, but you can max out at 42 pounds. Make sure to click the link in the description for more details and to purchase your vest today. And now, back to the video. So, does anyone remember who Ryan Johansen is? Okay, I'm just kidding, but considering that he didn't play last season, I'll give you all a quick refresher in case there's any new NHL fans watching. Johansen began his career in Columbus after getting taken 4th overall 15 years ago. He's a coach's dream when it comes to special teams, great speed and stick handling. A natural-born playmaker, Johansen played most of his career for Columbus and Nashville. Shortly before his long stint in rehab, Johansen had somewhat of a resurgence with the Colorado Avalanche prior to injury. However, our story takes us back to where it all began, Ohio's capital. In October of 2015, head coach Todd Richards was replaced by John Tortorella. By this time, Torts was an accomplished bench boss. After helping the Tampa Bay Lightning win their first Stanley Cup in 2004, Tortorella won his first Jack Adams Award. The second would come years later. Anyways, besides speaking with accolades, well, Torts also has a reputation of speaking critically and harshly at times. He's a no-nonsense type of coach who demands 110% of his players at all times. With that being said, when Tortorella took over for CBJ, Johansen was coming off of his best season, points-wise yet. In the 2014-15 campaign, Johansen recorded 71 points in a full season's play. However, once Torts assumed his bench boss responsibilities, things quickly took a turn for the worse. So, if you've been a hockey fan for long enough, you'll know that training camp is supposed to recondition players and get them ready for gameplay. Therefore, Johansen's fitness levels weren't up to Tortorella's standards. If you know anything about John Tortorella, then you'll know this. He is not afraid to bench his star players. Pierre-Luc Dubois, Cam York, the list goes on. No matter what your name is, if you're not playing up to the coach's liking, then you're going to be a bench warmer. And it just so happened that Johansen was benched in the first period by his head coach during a game on October 23rd of 2015. The forward recorded only 13 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time after only being allowed to take 4 shifts in the third period. According to Tortorella's favorite reporter, Larry Brooks, Torts questioned whether or not his player was in shape. Now, while that may seem like a reporter trying to stir the pot, according to Aaron Portzline of The Athletic in an article I'll link below, Columbus wasn't happy with his fitness level a year prior, in October of 2014. Aside from that, Johansen told the Columbus Dispatch that the out-of-shape comment was something Torts said in the dressing room. According to an article from NBC, Johansen had no idea how that leaked out to the media. And it wasn't long after that he was benched by the coach in December of 2015 that Johansen was traded to Nashville. Now, it is important to note that Johansen did say once he made it to the Music City that supposedly he and Torts had a good relationship. However, considering what transpired nearly a decade later, really makes that good relationship look like a dysfunctional one. After having somewhat of a redemption campaign with Colorado, Johansen in March of last year was traded to Philadelphia. Now, once reports began to trickle in that the Vancouver native was now supposedly going to be reunited with Torts, insiders shed some light on the state of their relationship. After Johansen's contract was waived, insider Elliot Friedman stated that he believed that Torts and Johansen still had some reconciliation to do. Don't forget, he and Torts have a complicated history to say the least, Friedman said. Regardless, the attempt at reconciliation never came to fruition because Johansen's contract was later terminated by the Flyers. In conclusion, I want to thank you all for watching this video.
And again, don't forget to click the link down below in the description to get your own weighted vest by Sportneer.
And I'll see y'all next time.